Before he was taken hostage by Hamas, he texted his parents. He sent a series of heart emojis and wrote in Hebrew what translates to, "Mom, I love you. That's it. They are here. It's over." And that is the last his parents have heard from him. 19-year-old Ron Sherman is an Israeli soldier serving his mandatory military service. But his role is not to fight. Sherman helps local Palestinian traders move goods from Israel into Gaza. He doesn't speak much Arabic. He talks with the Palestinians in English. His mother says he loves his job. His post is at a base by a border crossing at the northern edge of the Gaza Strip. As you can see in this video released by Hamas, which blurred the faces of the attackers, just after daybreak on Saturday, Hamas terrorists bombed that base and then attacked, killing some soldiers and taking others hostage, including Ron Sherman. But Ron's parents have hope that he is still alive. A few hours after that last text from their son, Ron's parents saw another video filmed by Hamas. They again blurred the faces of the terrorists kidnapping their son, but the image shows Ron after his capture, still alive and uninjured. That all happened nearly a week ago, and now all Ron's parents can do is wait and hope. Joining me now is Ron Sherman's mother, Maayan Sherman. Thank you so much for talking with us right now at this very, very difficult time. Could you first tell us what kind of conversations are you having with the Israeli government?
None, if you can say just none. We have really good support from, around, but not directly from the government. No, nothing.
Did they give you any information about your son, or has your assessment of his condition been from what you've heard from other networks?
They don't know anything. They know exactly like I do, and probably I will know, before them. This is something that, today with all the media and the social media and the videos that you get, you know everything before everybody else. It's the government tells us nothing at this stage.
What do you make, what are your feelings as you watch the Israeli government and the bombing of Gaza, the destruction of the buildings and the water and food and electricity crisis, with the idea that your son may be in Gaza?
You're right. This is now our second concern, because we have so many concerns. But first we hear it because we just live 40 kilometers from the Gaza Strip. All the time we have our house just moves from the bombings, from what we are doing, our army does now in Gaza Strip. We are very worried because Ron is inside with other hostages inside the Gaza Strip, and we can do nothing. Just hope that he will survive it somehow. By the way, our first concern is that Ron is asthmatic, and this is the reason why he wasn't a combat soldier. He can hardly breathe even in his own house. He needs his inhaler. And we are very worried because we assume they are inside, the tunnels underneath the Gaza Strip. And he wouldn't be able to survive without his medicine. We are trying to get to the Red Cross, just to solve this problem, this first problem, in order to survive the first week. We don't know yet. We didn't receive any. We don't think that the Gazan, the terrorists let the Red Cross inside the Gazan Strip. Actually, we don't know if Ron is dead or alive right now. But as you can clearly see in the videos, the Hamas filmed, he was seen, as you said, alive after the kidnapping.
How are you making it through these days? Are you speaking with the families of other hostages, as a mother myself, I cannot imagine what you are suffering through. And how do you find the strength and the resilience to go on and to continue to talk about this?
Because this is the only thing I can do. I really think that, to raise the awareness among the world, that other people around the world will see what's going on here in Israel. I'm talking to the press all day. My husband talks to the press all day. We are having conversations with other hostages' families. This is what we're doing all day. We're trying our best to, we cannot sleep, we cannot eat. It's unbearable situation for us. The worst of the worst, I wouldn't, it's something that I wouldn't even think about in my worst dreams that could happen to us. But we still have hope, and this is why I see our family. We see ourselves as lucky at this stage because other families have already received the loved one is dead, and we still have hope.
Well, may your hope be met with good news. Maayan Sherman, thank you so much for telling us your story. We wish you strength through this awful time. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Joining me now is someone who has some idea of what the hostages and their families are going through. David Rohde was reporting on the Afghanistan war for the New York Times in 2008 when he and several others were kidnapped outside of Kabul. They were held for 7 months and 10 days before escaping. And David is now, I'm very happy to say, a colleague. He is the national security editor for NBC News. David, I was listening to some of the accounts of people who have lost their children either as hostages or who have been killed. And Clarissa Ward spoke with a father this morning who said, and this really stuck with me. He told her, he said, they just found his daughter, Emily. She is dead. And I said, yes. I smiled because that was the best possibility that I was hoping for. She was either dead or she was in Gaza. If you know anything about what they do to people in Gaza, it is worse than death. What do you make of that just unbearable logic there?
It shows that the victims and the people who suffer the most, in many ways, I mean, clearly the hostages, but it's the families. I mean, you saw that with Mrs. Sherman. Like, this is such a cruel and cowardly crime. I'm clearly biased about it, but my mother, my spouse, I just gotten married at the time, my siblings, my editors, when I was kidnapped, it puts the family in this impossible situation. That father would rather have, his daughter pass away. The Shermans are doing TV interviews, talking to these other families. And it creates this false sense in families that they literally hold the lives of their loved ones in their hands. If they can just get Prime Minister Netanyahu to see me on TV, he'll do the prisoner exchange. And the families feel like, they can save the life of their loved one, and they don't really have that power. American families trying to get an Oval Office meeting with President Biden. And, the fault here, the problem here, and you'll see families now get very angry with the U.S. and the Israeli government. But the party at fault here is the kidnappers.
Of course.
It's a slow motion, cowardly crime. And it plays out over months and years. And it obviously tortures the hostages, but it tortures these families.
Do you feel like you look at the just absolute destruction in Gaza, and I wonder what you, as a former hostage, think of that, given the fact that, there's no food, there's no electricity, there's no water. That's for the people of Gaza. What does that mean for the hostages? The absolute leveling of that strip. How can that portend anything but the worst news?
This sounds awful, but they consider these hostages incredibly valuable. Sure. I think they will. They're underground. They're in very deep bunkers. I think there's food and water that, Hamas has stored for a long time. So they will keep them alive. It became very clear to me in my kidnapping that they wanted, they were asking for millions of dollars and all these prisoners from Guantanamo. So that's on the positive side. The other thing, too, is that there's a large enough number of them. That's obviously not a good thing, but they at least have each other. I'm still in touch with the Afghan journalist who was kidnapped with me, and the driver. The Afghan journalist helped me escape. So, that's a positive thing. But this could go on for a very, very long time. The last time Hamas had a hostage was one Israeli soldier. They held him for 5 years in Gaza. Wow. Israel could not find him. And eventually they traded 1,000 Palestinian prisoners for one soldier. So that's what Hamas expects.
And we're looking at maybe 100, 150 people.
It's extraordinary and extraordinarily sad.
David, it is, your sort of assessment of this is invaluable. I know it's probably, I can only imagine, difficult to talk about it given your own experience. But thanks for sharing tonight. Thanks for coming on the set. I appreciate it. David Rohde, national security editor at NBC News.